help me understand what success looks like for RJ Davis this season.
I think for him, I mean, since we have talked about him for a while, especially with the COVID year, and there wasn't during the summer there wasn't a lot to talk about. But I think one of the things coming into Chapel Hill we were most excited about was here's a guy that played very very well, obviously on the high school level, AAU level, shot over 40% from three in Nike UIBL, and from a size and stature perspective, you didn't see him being a one and done or a guy that left early, which has proven to be correct. And we did think he would be a guy that when you after 4 years you look at the UNC scoring ranks and he's going to be up there. And I think if he has a season just like the past two, he could get easily in the top 15, perhaps get into that number 12 or 11, right around MJ's spot. So I think for him, and you've seen his points increase from 8.5 to 13.5 to 16.1, and I do think success is him continuing to slightly increase that. I don't think it's going to be 20 or anything like that, especially with the talent around him. But if he's at 16 to 17 per game, because I think with Cadeau, he's going to be able to look for his shot a little bit more. He's going to have better shots, ideally, and I'm hoping that it's not almost a back and forth, type of situation sometimes where it was with him and Caleb.
Mhm.
So I think for him, it's can he stay at that 36% at a minimum? I would love to see him get into that 40% 3-point range, because I know he definitely had stretches both sophomore year and junior year where he was playing really well. Junior last year, I think when he got injured, that started to come down after the Syracuse game because he was start off slow, was shooting the lights out.
Yep.
Uh, so I think if he's taking smart shots, and scoring is going to be what he does best. I know he wants to play with the ball in his hands and show that he can be a point guard, but if he's almost a Marcus Howard Jr. light, I think to me that would be something I would love to see. Where forget the size, forget the position, do what you do best, and that's score and do that in an efficient way. So I think for him, it's going to be increasing the scoring, ideally increasing that 3-point percentage just a little bit, and then from I'd say a mental standpoint, being able to coexist with a true freshman, new guys coming in. Obviously, it's his team and Armando's team, but from a sharing perspective and incorporating everybody, can the maturity of being a senior, can does that show on the court in terms of him knowing how to pick his spots and really include everybody. I think some of the things I hated the most last year were the over dribbling and kind of when he did have his head down, which was a lot, but it definitely did happen, whether it was in transition or working off the pick and roll. So I think if he's able to keep his head up, look for teammates and once again going back to scoring and shooting the ball a little bit better.
Sherrill, I think you may have a little bit of an easy answer here because, as Sean nicely pointed out, RJ's role is going to be a little different this year with Elliot Cadeau being a true point guard. And I think that may help ignite the score in him a little bit. So I want to ask you, Sherrill, same second question we've been asking. What do you think fans can count on from RJ this year? Because it may be a little different than what they've been able to count on from him in the past.
I think it's going to be the 3-point shooting, and I'll get back to that. But to answer your question, Sean, so RJ has 1,304 points, so he needs 560 points to pass Walter Davis into 10th all time in UNC history, which comes out over 33 games, which is what they played last year. He needs to average 16.9 points over 33 games to get into the top 10 scoring all time at UNC. So a chance, especially if they make deeper runs into the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament, that lowers that number a bit. But 16.9 is not far fetched for him. I don't think. So we'll see. But Joey, yeah, I think it's the 3-point shooting is the thing. Excuse me, that they'll be able to count on for RJ Davis. Similar to Harrison Ingram, if you start just looking at the numbers like year in, year out, every year since he arrived at UNC, RJ Davis has gotten better. So his effective field goal percentage is 9 points higher than it was his freshman year as a junior. Each year, it's been iterative. Each year, it's gotten better. His 3-point shooting, it leveled off last year, but he's been at 36% pretty much each of the last 2 years.
hmm
I think we all agree that he probably would have been higher if he stayed healthy. To Sean's point, he had some stretches there where he was absolutely on fire. So I think that is closer to who RJ Davis is. So I expect him. Like if we do over under show or whatever, I'm taking, if it's 39.5 his 3-point percentage, I'm taking the over. I think
Hold
he's a
that
guy
thought.
who, I think he can shoot 40% from three, and I think that's what you'll count on from UNC because again, can't be overstated. With Harrison Ingram and Elliot Cadeau on the roster, he's going to get open shots and a lot
Yeah.
more, I think, than he got in the past because the ball is going to move. Even Cormac Ryan to some degree, just smart basketball players who are not going to let the ball stick. So I think the 3-point shooting is what you can count on.